What's up, guys? Welcome back to another What If with your boy. I appreciate all y'all for saying such kind words in the last episode or part. I don't know what you want to call it. I saw so much support. Everyone was just happy to see me back, and I really appreciate that. Obviously, I wanted to do part 2. I still haven't really thought too deep about it. I mean, I tried recording it once, but I was like, nah, that's not good, so I'm redoing that. And yeah, so after the hero examinations or the MHA examinations, I don't know what you'd call it. After the examinations, Deku heads home. He talks to his mom. He thinks he got in. All that is nice. They celebrate. Eventually, the mail does come in. Deku does get the mail telling him like, oh yeah, you're welcome to UA. He actually scored number 1 because your boy got the rescue points. What can I say? He still saved Ochako, just like in the anime. But instead of Bakugo overtaking him because he did the attacks, Deku also did attacks with Stinkfly, so he's also pretty much up there. What else is there? Let's think. Is there anything crazy that happens in the meantime? Not really. It's just a normal time while Deku prepares to go to UA. Eventually, he goes to UA. He gets lost, just like in the anime. He asks around for directions and eventually finds his way. He goes into the class, of course, big ass door, all that, yeah. He goes into the class, and then he sees Mina, and Mina obviously recognizes him as the guy who saved her before, and also, like, the guy who she thinks is running around with all these different forms, because it's the same fucking symbol. You'd kind of just figure, you know what I mean? So, oh my goodness, my phone. Apologies, people. No, but what's it called? Obviously, she is like, oh my god, you're that guy who helped me out before. Deku obviously doesn't like to take credit for shit too much. At least, like, he doesn't go out of his way to do so. So he's like, yeah, you know, it was nothing, da 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 da. I was just scared as well. So, you know, they get to talking a little bit. And then Ida walks over. Ida talks to him and it's like, you know, your quirk is a bit freaky, but, like, it's cool, man. And then, you know, they get along. Eventually, Ochako also joins in the conversation and then realizes that Deku was the one who was, you know, using the fucking alien form. And she thanks him for saving her just because, you know, obviously she was thankful. She just has, it's not like she's trying to be a dick. She's just scared of fucking bugs, you know what I mean? So they have that whole conversation and whatnot. Eventually, while everybody in class is talking, and, you know, Bakugo is sulking and is next to his desk, thinking about why Deku's in there and whatnot. Eventually, your boy, Aizawa, the greatest teacher of all time, he wakes up from his nap, and then he tells everyone to get changed and go to the back, because we're gonna do a training lesson, or not training lesson, we're gonna do a strength test or whatever. I forgot what they called it. Everybody goes back there to do the training test, and Deku gets first. So Aizawa tosses the ball. He's like, hey, throw this as far as you can. He asks him the whole thing about, like, how far did you throw it in middle school and whatnot. Deku says some number. I can't think of anything right now. And then I thought, like, alright, bet, just this time throw it using your quirk. And, you know, Bakugo, of course, yells, like, Deku doesn't have a quirk. And how did he get number 1? Some bullshit. You know, screaming, bitching like a dog. Eventually, Deku's like, alright, whatever. And, you know, he tries to fiddle with his watch. He fiddles with his watch a little bit. Eventually, you know, he finds it. Yeah, your boy still got the sound effects going. But yeah, he fiddles with the watch. Eventually, he finds the alien he wants. When he smacks it, boom! Your boy turns into Heat Blast. Perfect alien, exactly what he wanted. So he covers his hand in, like, fire and tosses the ball with all his might, and it shoots off like a fireball. You know what I mean? Eventually, it gets to probably what's a good amount of meters? we'll say like 300 meters, but then the ball like burns. It wouldn't have stopped. It just burnt to a crisp. And that's how as far as they let him go. So Deku, of course, is a bit bummed out. It didn't go as far as he wanted, but he still thinks it's pretty cool. And then, Bakugo, he's pissed. He's like, you had a fucking quirk, and he attacks. But eventually, Aizawa cancels out his quirk. Aizawa wouldn't really have a reason to cancel out Deku's quirk here, just because it's not like he hurt himself at all before. So, Izuku's doing pretty well on the quirk examination area. I'd say after that, through the test, like, sometimes the watch would turn off, and in moments like that, like when he got those like free moments, he'd do fucking awful, because your boy didn't train physically much, even though his grandpa probably told him to. He probably didn't train as much as he would have with All Might, so I wouldn't even say he did as good as he could have. So I think after, it depends on like if 3 of those tests could save him from ending up on the bottom row, but I think Heat Blast is versatile enough to save him from being last place, even if he fucked up the later ones. Let's see. So yeah, I think that Mineta would just get last place and probably get kicked out. He's been a weirdo. He's been a perv. We don't fuck with him. All that. So Mineta gets kicked out. Tough shit. Eventually, after a while, Izuku, or not Izuku, fuck. Aizawa, he goes over, he sees All Might. He talks to All Might about why he's stalking over in the corner and how he could have came over. The reason why All Might's peeking at him, by the way, is because he's still trying to find his successor. And y'all didn't help me. Y'all didn't tell me if he was a successor or not. I was asking. I was like, hey, tell me if Zuko should be a successor. But no, everybody's just like, welcome back, Aizawa. Enough. Tell me if he's a successor or not. God damn it. Fuck. Like shit, man. Too much love. Give me some hate. Nah, don't give me hate, please. I have a fecal soul. I'm weak. I can't take the hate, please. Nah, but yeah. After that, I'd say that I thought, what's it called? All Might, of course, still looking for a successor. If you guys don't want Deku to be a successor, please tell me. If you do want him to be a successor, please tell me, and then it could be cool. I don't know. Fucking alien powers get enhanced by one for all, and he has to train, or maybe not. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But you guys tell me, and then I can work off that. So yeah. Either way, Deku would what happens after this? Oh yeah. This is the fucking bomb site thing. So yeah, after the initial testing, a couple weeks passed. So after this, they do the heroes versus villains things. I wouldn't even say a couple weeks, just a couple days passed. They do the heroes versus villains thing. All Might busts in. He's like, I am here. Dun, 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 all that. And then, everybody freaks the fuck out. I don't think well, yeah, he probably still has the same fucking hero suit as in canon, and it's probably still terrible. Yeah, he has the same OG hero suit. This time, when he gets paired up, it's still Ochako, and it's still Ida and Bakugo. So, yeah. I think that Izuku, no matter what alien he gets here, and even if it's like, if it's upgrade or something, he might lose this. But no, Ida's suit isn't really technological, so I don't even think. Well, actually, I don't know. For my sake, we're gonna say he didn't get upgrade. Let's look at the alien list and see one that I haven't used yet. So I've used that. Let's go Diamond Head. Diamond Head's fucking sick. So yeah, what's it called? He transforms. He goes Diamond Head. The class is of course watching, and they're all like, "Whoa, like that's a fucking cool ass quirk. How the fuck did he become made of diamond or whatever?" And people are thinking about like, what if could he sell that? That's of course like Momo and probably like forgot Denki's name for a second. Yeah, Denki. It's probably like Momo or maybe Denki, thinking about that. Momo because she's smart, Denki because money. And you know, Kirishima's like, oh, that's fucking cool. He kind of has like a hardening quirk like me and shit like that. But then they think back and he's like, wait, but how many transformations does he have? Because they've seen Heat Blast, and then like Ochako's seen Stinkfly, Mina's seen Wild Mutt, and then like now they've seen Diamond Head. They still haven't seen Upgrade, so those are the 5 that he has available. By the way, he'll get more throughout the story. So eventually, as like they're going through this test, Izuku's Diamond Head, I think that the fight with Bakugo would go differently. The initial one, I think that Diamond Head washes Bakugo, except for maybe the Howitzer impact. It's not Howitzer impact. I forgot what that one grenade move was called. Yeah, but either way, after probably getting hit by that move, because he'd fuck up Bakugo a bit, he'd get hit by that move and get blasted through the fucking wall. So he'd get sent far as fuck away. But you know, that move fucks up Bakugo, and he can't really do it too much. So Izuku would probably watch out for it the next time, but I don't think that would be enough to decommission him, just because Diamond Head is fucking Diamond Head. Let's be real here. What else? Yeah, so I'd say after a bit of recouping, he probably meets up with Uraka. They decide to attack through the upper floors because she can float people. So yeah, plus is Diamond Head heavy? I mean, are diamonds, well, if it was a diamond that big, it would probably be heavy. But either way, Uraka just fucking floats him to the top, and then after floating him to the top and going in, while Bakugo was still looking around after hitting him with a fucking nuclear impact, you know, Izuku just punches through the floor. They see Ida like halfway, and when Ida tries to run at them, well, Ida wouldn't try to run at them. He'd probably just like run away, and Deku would just shoot diamonds at him. So it would depend on like how long Ida could run while Deku could shoot, and I think Deku would eventually catch him. Probably. I think Ida's gonna get tired before Deku can't shoot diamonds. And even then, like, he could probably, like, make a diamond wall or something and block him off or some shit. So, yeah, I think that Deku and Uraka just take this pretty easily. Even if it came to, like, fighting Bakugo, they probably still would have taken it. So, I'm just giving them the win. You can come to however that is yourself. And, yeah, the conversations sound good. By the way, if you're wondering why this is so much more fast-paced, I'm trying to like see if cutting out the dialogue would be better or not, and you guys tell me. Maybe you won't like this just because I'm definitely not as quirky, just because I'm trying to think of how it would go. So I'm cutting out a bit of the dialogue. If you guys don't like me cutting out a bit of the dialogue and want me to bring it back, just tell me. If you don't really care, that's fine too. If you do care and you like are like, oh yeah, take out more of the dialogue, it's so good, yeah. My God, that's awful. I don't know what I did. Fucked up my throat. But yeah, if you prefer me fucking off with the dialogue and just focusing on what might happen in the what if, that's cool. If you don't and you think the dialogue makes the what if and whatnot, or makes me, tell me and I'll switch it around, switch it back. But yeah, for now, we're gonna keep going. I think I'm going to go after the training center incident, and once we reach there, I'm gonna call it a day for this what if for a little bit. Maybe focus on another what if I feel like it. We'll figure it out. So the UA incident. Give me a second, I'm thinking on this because I didn't reach this far. Oh wait, did I give him Ripjaw yet? I don't know if I gave him Ripjaw. I did not give him Ripjaw. Let's see. We'll think about that. Okay. So of course they're training. I could just passively give him aliens, but we all know we'd like them in those dire scenarios where shit can get devious, you know. So I'd say that after a couple weeks, of course they have the UA like training incident where, you know, what, I forgot what the fuck this shit is called. You see, it's been so long, I'm forgetting what the places are called. This is bad, bro. This is bad. But yeah, either way, I think that let me pause and think. I don't want y'all to wait here with me. Alright, I'm back. I had to watch a little short video that basically told me all I need to know about the USJ incident. Yeah, I remember the name now, motherfuckers. I remember the name. Okay, so now that I am back aware of at least USJ, I really should do this before every video, shouldn't I? Oh fuck. Okay, so now that I'm at least aware again of what was going on with the USJ incident, I can better tell you everything that's gonna happen. First off, they all walk in, they meet Hero 13. You know, Uraka still is a fangirl of 13, so she still goes crazy over that. Everybody else is still pretty psyched up because, you know, USJ, we get to practice saving people and whatnot. And then the villains come in. There's a bunch of them. Like, they look across and they just see a whole lot of villains. After that, when they're confronted by these villains and shit like that, and wondering who the fuck are they, and how they get into the USJ and whatnot, before they can get any of their questions answered, they're sucked into a portal and then thrown, you know, into different locations. So, you know, I'd say that, like, honestly, I think this what if, at least this one, I'm just gonna follow a lot of, like, the uncontrollable facts that happen, like Deku getting thrown into the water area, and I'm gonna just follow those things. So, like, Deku probably would still not get, you know, you'll see, it'll just follow a lot of the same ways, but just how it would go differently if he had the Omnitrix, instead of just completely remaking the story of My Hero, which I could still do, but that would take longer, and I think that this would be a good way to just get back into it, you know what I mean? So yeah, he probably still gets sent in with Froppy, and now no Mineta, so it's just them. He does get summoned, like, underwater, so he does, like, immediately go for the Omnitrix, trying to do something. He's swimming up still, but, you know, he's fiddling with the Omnitrix, trying to figure out something. People are still on his tail. He's about to get bit. Luckily for him, Suyu already got out the water, and because she didn't have to worry about Mineta, she immediately pulls him out the water, quick as fuck. So, you know, Deku, of course, thanks her. He appreciates the save, whatnot. They look around. There's, like, around 16 something villains all around the fucking ship. Originally, they're like, oh, she's like, okay, do you have any, like, aquatic transformations? Remember, right now my boy doesn't have Ripjaw, so he's kind of screwed. And so he obviously explains to her, like, nah, I'm basically useless in the water. He's like, does the ship work? And then she's like, no. And then he remembers, he's like, okay, it's time for an upgrade. Bah! All of a sudden, instead of turning into upgrade like he wants, which would have been our first upgrade view, he turns into goddamn Heatwave. Yeah. So he turns into Heatwave, and I know what you're thinking, oh, he could just fly out, whatnot. Ben couldn't fly on Heatwave for a while. You know, I think Izuku's trying and he's getting close to it, but he's not risking trying to fly over water as Heatwave, because he also doesn't really know what being completely submerged might do to him as Heatwave. He hasn't tried that on purpose. He was worried it might kill him. So, obviously, Deku is like, okay, I got the worst hero for the fucking water area. What the fuck? Suyu is like, okay, yeah, I'm starting to see what I was talking about and shit. So they're having trouble and whatnot. Eventually, though, Izuku comes up with an idea. He's like, Sue, okay, how about I fucking rocket boost the ship? And I'm sure maybe some of you are like, well, how could he rocket boost if he can't fly? He puts his back to the wall of the ship. He puts his hands out, and he fucking fires a huge blast, and he starts pushing the ship to shore with the fire. And of course, the villains who are in the water are like, what the fuck? What's going on and stuff like that. And the water is underneath the fire, is getting boiled over just from how hot it is. But he's pushing the ship over. It's so hot to the point that Sue has to like move away, and he's like melting into the wall and shit. Eventually, they make it to shore. This time, I think they'd get noticed by Shigaraki. Something's telling me that a ship going up to shore would get noticed by Shigaraki and Nomu and whatnot. Shigaraki, of course, is thinking of like, oh, like, these must be some kids, so he's not gonna like call sick Nomu on them yet. But he, of course, they still got Aizawa on the ground and are beating his fucking face in. But now, instead of, he tries to go for the same shit, and of course he's talking like how he did in original, like in the beginning. He's like, you got a fucking fire quirk that turns you into like a human torch. That's so fucking cool. I'm so jealous. All this, like, he's being like some weird fanboy and shit. Like, your quirk must be so useful and shit. Zuko's kind of like off-putted by this because he's quirkless, really. Like, of course, like, he's had people like complimenting his quirk and shit like that, but never to like, it's not like like an insult sort of way. You know what I mean? Because he's not complimenting Deku's quirk because his quirk is cool. He's complimenting Deku's quirk because like, oh, your life must be so easy because of that quirk. So Deku knows the struggles of being quirkless, but he doesn't say anything about that. I think that he'd still go to grab Sue's face and try to fucking turn her to dust. I still think Deku wouldn't be quick enough to react. Aizawa, of course, always comes in clutch though. And this time, instead of throwing a punch at, well, he'd still throw a punch at Shigaraki, but it would be like a giant ball of flame. And this time, because Nomu, of course, still came in to block it, just like in the anime, but this time it would actually hurt the Nomu, because the Nomu has super regeneration, but he's not fireproof, you know what I mean? This isn't like the Nomu that Endeavor went against. He's not immune to this shit, so he burns, and he burns fucking bad, Of course, like, Shigaraki's annoyed and shit like that, and Nomu, of course, still regenerates. So after like, Nomu picks him up and is about to slam him down, boom! I am here. All Might comes in to save the day and whatnot. Zuko doesn't really know about All Might's injury, so he doesn't think anything of it, oh, if All Might will need this help or nothing. So he gets the fuck out of Dodge, by immediately just heating up his arm, or heating up his body, which the Nomu was holding, to the point where like the Nomu's hand like sears off, and then he cools himself down, grabs Sue, and just runs. He bolts. Nomu would probably try to chase for a second. Your boy All Might would come in, throw a solid punch at the Nomu, and I think the fight would go as canon from there. Eventually, though, I think that with All Might not giving away One For All yet, he probably could have handled the Nomu better. So when he goes for his like 100% smash, or like when they're in the middle of the fight and shit, he's not getting like as easily done in. Of course, the kids still have helped All Might, and I think the help would have been even more like of a use to All Might here, just because like instead of like trying to punch and shit like that, by throwing the flames, it kind of course they have to like back away from the flames when they would like Todoroki's cold, just because like burns and shit like that. So I think it would be even more useful to All Might here. Plus, All Might has One For All again, or still, so he wouldn't like be running on embers. So they'd probably beat Shigaraki more easily than in the anime. After that, I think that everything would go just about the same, like, afterwards a little bit, just recovery-wise. Obviously, I'm not saying for the whole thing. Like, I'm still gonna continue after that. I genuinely just think I should rewatch the anime though at this point, to try to figure out what I'm missing out on, and figure out like how to better do these what ifs. But yeah, this was me like cutting out a lot of dialogue and shit. Like, instead of just yapping it up on dialogue wise, this is me cutting it out and just giving you the straight what if. You guys can tell me if you prefer it that way. If you don't prefer it that way, that's fine. I'll change it up. Just tell me. And yeah, hope you guys did enjoy this episode. Peace out. Stay safe. Love, love, love. Gang, 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 gang. Like, subscribe, all that shit. Goodbye.